What's up, family?
Hey, really?
Oh my goodness.
Are you really doing this right now?
Absolutely.
Are you
Nothing
really doing this?
like live TV.
Nothing like it.
That's
And
true.
All
That's
right.
true.
eating.
So what's happening, family? It's conversations with us two. Me and her, MJ, and she is.
Lady Des.
We are the Shenanigan Crew, and tonight we have a very special guest. Not only is she a singer, actress, songwriter, I think she's done some producing. She's an author. She's got her own
TV host.
skincare line. She is just the very first Black female to be on the Mickey Mouse Club on cable. So if you don't know who she is, she's blazed the stage of Star Search and won every single time. And I'm
Absolutely.
so proud to be able to say that she is definitely my little sister. So for those that don't know, she is Raquel Herring. My sister, how are you?
Hello. I am fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Listen, we understand that you have been so busy since the last time that we've seen you. So I
Praise
think I'm going to
God.
start. I think I'm going to start with where you are, and then we're
Okay.
going to go back, and then we're going to come back. So
Okay.
where are you right now?
Right
Besides home.
now. Oh
Uh-huh.
my gosh. I'm so excited. I am doing this show called Americana on Afro TV. I am the moderator of the debaters, one Democrat, one Republican, and man, it is so much fun. They go at it. It's hilarious. I got to be cutting them off. I got to tell, look, we got to move to the next topic, and they just go at it. And it's so hard to cut them off, right? Because everybody's making such great points for their side, and it's like it gets so heated, and then I gotta cut it off, and I'll be like, because I want to hear too what they're saying. So it has been so much fun. I am enjoying myself.
Now, how did that come about? How did you become a part of Americana, this debate, especially at a time like this? How did this happen?
Well, Tylisha, which you guys both know from Ty Live Entertainment, they called her. I was on the phone when they called, and they were looking for someone to be a moderator for the show. And she says, "Oh my gosh, I got the best person for you guys." And she told them about me. They looked at my social media, looked through, and then they called me in to do a screen test. And they were just like, "We love you. We want to keep going." So, yeah, just like that, in the right place at the right time.
And that's the thing, you have that infectious personality that everybody that meets you has no choice but to fall in love with you. And
Glory to God. Thank you.
She got me beat 10 times, MJ.
yes, she does. She does. When I tell you my sister is definitely hype, she is hype. And
Yeah.
all natural. Every time we've ever crossed paths, she's always been joyful, happy, and on 100, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing
Thank
because it just proves that every time you see her, it's genuine. It's not something that she turns on and turns on. It is exactly who
Absolutely.
Rocky is.
Hey, look, and Rocky, I like it.
I like it. That's right.
That's the inside of everybody.
I'm gonna make it up too. I'm gonna make it up.
We're still
right.
waiting on that. Okay.
That's right.
Go ahead, Des.
Yeah.
Oh, so listen, Rocky, I know that you are hosting this new TV show, but what others don't know that you actually grew up basically on television. So tell everyone about that experience.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about my podcast. I'm doing that too. My Planet Rock podcast. So I do that. It's on envision-radio.com every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about all things relationships, anything about relationships. We talk about all that because when I was writing my book, I realized I was like, you know what? Everything is about relationships, even the relationship with my plants and my dog, like everything's relationship. So we talk about all that stuff on on my Planet Rock podcast, and specifically we talk about God, because everything comes back. No matter who I talk to, everything comes back to God. So praise God. So yeah. But yeah, I grew up on the Mickey Mouse Club. That's where I was first. It was Star Search. And my mom she said, I'm gonna get you on Star Search. And I was like, for real? Because that was like the thing you watch. Like everyone's glued to the television to watch Star Search. And I just couldn't imagine that like it was really gonna happen. And it did. And I was on there for like 13 weeks. I won consecutive shows back to back to back. I won the best teen vocalist, best teen performer. And that was the first in my category to have that many winnings and to win both the semifinals and the finals. And then it was the Mickey Mouse Club. And my mom was like, we're going to that audition. And it was like a huge open call. And I went there and booked that my spot on the Mickey Mouse Club. And that was on Disney Channel. So yeah, television is what I love to do.
And speaking of television, you went from there and you became an actress, and then I see you playing this tough policewoman.
I always wanted to play a policewoman. I was so excited when that audition came about to play a policewoman, because I was like, I already knew how I was gonna be, right? And my mom always laughs at me and said, like, you was up in his face just talking stuff. I was like, that's right. I'm a police officer. I got a badge. I got authority. Recognize my authority.
Respect me.
Wow. So it was so much fun, that role. Yeah.
So was being a teen star or child star, was that difficult for you? How did you adjust to Hollywood?
Yeah, no, it wasn't difficult at all, because my mom made it where it wasn't difficult. Going to school, doing the things that kids do, going to the mall, hanging out, roller skating. Like we were able to keep a balance as children. And maybe because it was at Disney, because children are doing things and, they make things, activities and shows for children. And perhaps that's why, it was able to be normalized for us. For me, let me speak for myself. And I think mostly because my mom made sure it stayed that way, that I was able to still be a kid as I was on television as well.
Yeah, definitely shout out to mom, because she's definitely been your biggest supporter, always
For
in
sure.
your corner. And I definitely know that. One thing that I forgot to mention though is that you're from South Florida, right here in Miami.
That's right from South Florida. That's right, Dade County, baby. Did they
And
say that? I don't even know.
Listen, we didn't say that she's a comedian too.
Well, yeah, we left that out. There's so many things that Rocky does.
I'm just so grateful to have been able to try and just do different things that are creative and fun to do. Thank you, Lord, for being blessed with that opportunity to be able to just do different things and try it. So yeah, comedian. Oh my goodness. Woo! That's a job right there. Okay.
Now,
that is
how did that happen?
You getting on that stage to make people laugh. That's some work. Woo! It's nerve-wracking.
I could imagine, because it's hard. It's hard to get people to laugh, but I laugh at myself.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Myself too. Well, I realize some people come ready to laugh. Some people come like, you won't have to make me laugh. Right. And they determined not to laugh. Some people come, they just ready to have a good time. They're ready to laugh. And like, oh my gosh, when you get that first laugh, oh my gosh, that's when like all the nerves go away. Because initially I start to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't be doing this mess. I can't go through this. I can't be going through feeling like this, But then when I got, I get my first laugh, I'm like, oh, I'm in there now. I can keep going.
Can you share with us how the very first comedy show went? How did that happen? Walk us through the steps, the call, and then from the call to your first time on the stage as a comedian.
Okay. I was hanging out with someone, and I forgot how we met. We met at a friend's house, and we were just hanging out. And he said to me, you should do stand-up. And I was like, yeah, oh, okay. I had heard that before. And I was like, okay, yeah. He said, I'm going to book you on a show. I'm going to book you at Flappers, because he was a booker there. And he had the connections there. He said, "You gonna do it?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And he was so shocked because he didn't anticipate me agreeing. But I don't know. I just felt like, you know what? Shoot, just do it. I mean, what do I have to lose, right? So yeah, I got booked on it. And when I got the booking, that's when I got nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, who do I think I am? Am I crazy? I'm gonna get up there and talk about making people laugh. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But I did it. I got up, I wrote my, he coached me through it. Like, just talk about whatever you want to talk about. And I was like, I'm just going to talk. And I'm have my subject matters that I'm going to talk about, and I'm just going to do it. And I got up there and I did it. It was just like, I think 3 minutes is what I had to do. Whew, that 3 minutes, let me tell you, that 3 minutes was like 20 minutes, let me tell you. But people laughed, people enjoyed it. And then after that, he was like, well, let's go over to the Ice House in Pasadena. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, he was really my support in that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And went over there and I got booked, and I just kept getting booked and booked after each show. And I think my best work was done at the Ice House. Every time I went to Flappers, it was like, I don't know, maybe because it was more intimate. I don't know. But it was intimate at Pasadena too. But I just really did my best work at Pasadena.
Did you enjoy taking this leap from singer, songwriter, actress to comedian?
Did I enjoy it? I enjoyed after I got my first laugh. I did not enjoy it up until that point. I mean, the creating what I'm going to talk about, and creating my jokes and my punchlines, that was fun because it was that creative side, and I love to create. But the process of the nerves and getting up on that stage, I did not like that at all, right? So, like I say, that first laugh, then you okay, all right, I'm good. But I talked about nobody was off limits. Nothing was off limits. I talked about my mom. I talked about the guy that even got me to do it. I talked about everybody. Nobody was off limits.
Well, listen, Rocky,
but people loved it because it was real.
Right. Do you remember what that first topic was?
No. I don't remember the first for my very first show. I don't remember the first topic, but I did. But you know what? I started getting good at being quick about it because on my way to do a show, my mom had called and she was like, I hope you're not gonna wear your hair like that. And I was like, why would she call me before I'm about to go and say some mess like this? And I know better than to answer the phone when I got something to do, right? I know better, but I did. And I used that in my stand-up because it was just crazy. And I know people love that. And I had something else to go along with that. So when I used that, I was on my way there formulating how I'm going to put this in. But I try not to make sure things it flows. I'm not trying to stick with stuff. If it's not going to happen, it will naturally come out. And I did. And I talked about a pig. I saw somebody walking a hog in Beverly Hills with a bow tie. Ridiculous. I was shocked to see that. So I talked about that. I talked about people bringing air mattresses to the park with sheets and pillows. This is crazy stuff that I was seeing when I was doing comedy. I wasn't trying to seek out this stuff. This stuff was really going on.
You, right?
Huh?
I said it just came to you.
It just came to me. So yeah, and I was just using it all, and people loved it. So yeah, it was good times.
Another thing that I admire about you is that even though you hit that celebrity status, you have some of the very same friends from elementary school. I was floored when I saw that.
I do.
And you still keep in touch with those people to this very day.
I do. I still do. Those are my friends. Those are my buddies growing up. Yeah. And we still stay in contact. They come out and support me at different events. So yeah, those are my peoples.
That's what's up.
For sure. So let's
around the way. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it's gonna stay.
That's right.
Let's talk about a little bit about the book, The Fallen Mouseketeer.
Falling
Tell us
up,
about the book. Yeah,
Follow
because
up.
falling up
falling up
because
the unstoppable journey of a tear. Yep.
that book takes us on a journey of a lot of things that you went through
Yeah.
from the celebrity lifestyle to things that happened to you personally, that became, a testimony of your life and how you overcame. So why did you decide to become so transparent in this book?
Because I really wanted to share with people what actually goes on. I think, we get a chance to see the glitz, the glamour. We think it's such a charmed life, right? But it's still real life things to deal with. And I don't think people like consider those things sometimes. And I just really wanted to share with people that are younger coming up, young women, even young men, and people still my age who are interested in what happens really behind the scenes, what's happening in the lives of people. And it was also healing for me to be able to like speak about it, to not keep it covered anymore, to just come out and say this is what occurred. Because sometimes people always say, well, what happened to you? I saw you on this and then I didn't see you anymore. And then like, you were so, I loved your music, I loved you singing, and I didn't know what happened to you. And I think this was my way to like really answer what went on in life. Things go on in life. And I wanted to share that with people. So no one can ever get it mixed up about, life happening. And it's
Hmm.
real. And it's
Right.
not, covered in this glitz and glamour. There's things that are going on in people's lives, and people are working hard, and people are going through things. And I really wanted to share that. And it was so healing for me to get that out, sharing that with others.
So
And
let me ask you this, Rocky. What was the feedback that you received? Because just like you said, they see the glitz and the glamour and they think that that is the life. But what people don't understand, we're actually human and we're people too. And we
Right.
have our personal lives that we still have to deal with. So, what
Right.
was the type of feedback you got from that?
People love the transparency and the genuineness. So that's what I wanted, to be transparent. And I wanted people to really get that. And they really did and appreciated that I was willing to go places that before I probably would have never said some things. But I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm going to say it. And yeah, people appreciated that and the genuineness.
so,
Awesome.
what did happen after that very first CD?
After the first CD,
Uh huh. Well, okay,
nothing.
after the second
Oh,
CD.
after the second CD,
Yeah. Because
nothing.
like you said, you had the opportunity to record, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, well, where is she? What happened?
Nothing.
And
But that was
What?
but that wasn't because of your doing.
No, man, I've tried everything, well, I'm within limits, But yeah, I mean, life. I mean, I don't know. I was with the record labels. I recorded an album with Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. They kept me in that agreement for like 5 years, and with nothing happening, and it wasn't a whole lot that I could really like do about that. I hadn't really got out there to be like performing and doing things as such with this music. So I was really just locked into this agreement. It wasn't like it is now.
Okay.
Now you could be doing stuff, be like, whatever, I'm doing
Right.
it, and you can just go ahead and write your own stuff again and be like out there and, take your album, do what you want to do. But it wasn't really like that because you didn't have the outlets to be able to do it in a way that was going to be one productive and that was going to be financially sound in as well, right?
right.
Then I went to Universal, recorded some music there. Nothing. They wanted to send me over to Interscope. by that time, and I was like, well, Maya's on that label. It's a lot of rappers and everything. By that time, I was just burnt out and continuing to be locked in agreements and not able to do anything. You know, I felt like I'm being stifled, I'm being caged. So I wasn't able to like really get out there. Then afterwards that I kind of took a break, lived life. I got married and stuff like that. And then by the time of going through all of that, I went back to music. I found my love for music again, and then I started singing Christian music, which I just I love it. I love it.
Rocky, I love you, but you gave me the bubblegum version, and that's okay because we know each other. So I know
You
that
gotta read the book.
I know you were in a contract, and at one point in time, they wanted you to change your image.
Oh yeah, they did.
And let's talk about the
Yeah.
image change. Absolutely.
I went in there with the idea, this is how I was brought in, like, you know, the Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, and they wanted me to be the little Kim, Mary J. Blige at that time, and hang out with people that maybe, you know, were a little rougher because they felt like I was too soft. Too soft? What? So I what does that even mean? Like, but no, my mom had groomed me and brought me up in a certain way that I'm not going to divert from that vision that I see just to be pleasing to someone else and to sell whatever it is you're trying to get me to sell. No, I just wasn't brought up that way, and I wasn't going to change from that. So then, of course, you know, that comes with a with the other side. Well, then you ain't gonna do nothing. So that's how that works. But I don't regret it. You know, I really wanted to do those things, but I guess that maybe if it was for me at that time, like, you know, it would have been. But I just didn't see where that was going to fit in my life, in my spirit of doing something that I know is against what, you know, I see about myself. So,
and I think that's where a lot of people get stuck in the industry because they're challenged with changing who they are, and that identity don't really fit them, so they kind of struggle with that, and they end up kind of converting, should I say, and trying to learn the environment so they can make the money. But
right.
On the flip side of that, it don't end up good for them.
Right. Well, it's like if you're going to play the game, and I say it like this, if you're going to play the game, you can't just be in the middle. You're going to have to be in the game and play it. You go into that game, you give yourself to the game, because that, to me, that's the way you win it. But if you're going to be like teeter-tottering and you're not going to give yourself to it, then I don't see where it's going to really happen. You got to go 100 or not. Did I say it right?
You said it right.
100. That's right. So, you know, I went 100 the other way. I got to stay true to myself. Like how my mom was like, don't ever do something that you're not going to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and feel good about it.
Absolutely.
So that's what I stuck with. And I don't do it.
Well, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Kudos to you. Yes.
And with that being said, that moves us over to this silky,
Silky.
skin line.
Skin line.
Skincare. Oh yeah.
You see that skin glowing?
Listen, she was looking like, wait a minute, where's he going with this? Yeah, the skincare line.
Envy Luxury Exclusive. Oh my gosh, I love it. I have been look at you see I'm saying it and I like it.
And I like it.
I've been you know, when I got my divorce, there were skincare products that I would initially buy, and well, I couldn't buy them no more. And then there were some that were discontinued, and I was like, no way. And through my quest of trying different skincare products to keep my skin moisturized, because I would get really dry. And I was like, what can I use? And my friend came over the house one time, and she's like, she cut all her hair off. And I was like, what in the world? This is crazy. And she's like, well, I decided to go vegan. I'm just going to be totally natural. And I was like, first of all, I didn't even know what that meant, right? So she explained, what's vegan, no dairy, no meat, no products, no like unnatural products and chemicals and all this stuff. I was like, this is crazy. I don't know nothing about that. And she told me that I could make my own skincare and hair products. And I was like, what? That's crazy. And she told me like where to go, like research it. And I'm like, because now we're into Google, and Google is like really expanding, and you have Amazon, and it's really growing now, and they're not just books anymore. It's like for real, like way past that now. And like you can get your products. She told me how I can what products do what, like what she was doing. And I started researching my products, and I was like, well, I'm gonna try it. And I started making my own, no chemicals, totally natural, organic. And I was like, wow, I love this. I loved how I felt. I loved how my skin felt, that it was nourished deeply, not just on the surface, but like in there, layers, right? And so from there, I started with my body butter first, because I wasn't gonna put nothing on my face. And then after I found out that it works for my body, I started making my face products. And that just went from like mask and different like, sprays to refresh and all that stuff. And then I started with my hair, because I wasn't going to put it on my hair. From the body to the face. I ain't about to put it on my hair. But then I started using it for my hair because I trusted it. I was like, my gosh, like I'm making my own stuff. And so when I moved to Florida, I had mixed up something I hadn't used skincare products my own for like 6 months or so, because I was just trying different things, but nothing was working for me. My skin was like, I hadn't noticed that it had really gotten dull. I hadn't noticed yet until I said, well, let me just mix up my stuff, because I think it's time now. And so I started mixing my skincare for my face, and oh my gosh, like I gave some to my mom. I had some, and I was in the bathroom, and when I put it on, it's like my face came to life, like it brightened up, and it was like, I was like, wow, like that was a big difference to me. But I was like, well, I don't big up my own stuff. I'm like, I don't go around be like, yeah, my stuff, right? So my mom came out of the room, and she said, this is really good. I like it. I like the way my face looks and the way it felt, the way it feels, right? And I was like, really? Because I was like, if she give you a compliment, me, that's a big deal. And I was like, she complimented me on that? Oh my gosh. She said, you should put this out. And I was like, what? And after that, I went ahead. I was in school at the time, or I was thinking about, well, COVID came, I was in school, and I was getting my degree in business and computer information systems. And at the time, as I'm going through studying different companies, I was like, well, let me start setting up my own company to put my knowledge to use, And so that's what I did. And I created Envy Luxury Exclusive.
Was it a culture shock for you to go from Miami to Orlando to Hollywood and then to wind back up in Florida? Was that like a culture shock for you?
Well, I think more of the culture shock, I can't say, because I went from Miami to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to Miami to New York.
Okay.
Which I love the Village. That's my favorite place in New York, was the Village, right? So I went there, but I had been to these places already, but I guess kind of living in certain places, because I lived in the Bronx initially when I moved, like really moved, because before I was on like 54th in the Midtown. And then when I kind of like really moved there, I was in the Bronx. That was a cultural shock. I ain't know nothing about no Bronx, right? That was a culture shock. But, people were really nice, but it was in a different environment. So, no, I was not accustomed to that. And then left there and went to California. And no, because I have been to California before and I always wanted to live there. So I was so excited to be there. To come back to Florida, I think I was ready for the quietness. I was ready because I don't live in Miami, so I live further up north. And it was so quiet. When I would visit my mom, oh my gosh, I'd be like, this is like what peace sounds like. Shh. And I love that, right? Because I guess I've always kind of been that person that like even when I would be working, I love to work. I love to be creating. But when that's done, I'm really not a party person. I just like to go home, and that's where I am, to decompress, to chill until I have to be out again to do some work, right? And that's how I just enjoyed it. So coming here to Florida where my mom lived, that's what it resonated to me, is that's what would be happening. When I moved here, 6 months later, forget about it. Everybody from everywhere was coming there. I mean, building, like, I mean, just like huge complexes of apartments and housing communities. Every day, trees are falling. What is going on? I really thought that it was going to be quiet. No chance.
You brought it all with you.
But the time I had
back with you.
Yeah.
I said you brought it all back with you.
Apparently, everybody followed me there. I was like, this is ridiculous. But, I'm glad for the time I did have to know what peace and quiet really does sound like.
Speaking of peace and quiet for you has brought out a hidden talent that you have.
What's that?
Uh-huh. What's that? Look at
you
your
just
hand.
be saying things, MJ. I mean, like, what are you talking about?
What is he talking about?
But if you follow me, you'll catch it. Look at your hands. Look at one of your thumbs. I see a green thumb over there.
I'm like, I ain't getting none of this. Oh my goodness. Look, I could talk about plantain gardening for hours, okay? And nobody has to say a word, and I can go on and on and on and on. So you do not want that conversation on this show, okay? I'm telling you right now. So nobody has to talk. I can do it all. I love it. Oh my goodness. So during COVID, when I was in Los Angeles at my house, I had learned when I bought the house, there were trees, citrus trees out there. So I had to learn, obviously, how to take care of these trees. I learned about pruning hard, pruning light, and the different results that it brings, even though it still makes me nervous today. I'd be like, I don't want to prune it, but you got to do it because that's how you're going to really get the bounty of what that tree produces, right? And so when I came here during COVID, I'm like, what am I going to do? That's before I was like praying, Lord, lead me the way you want me to go. Because I was like, I know for me, I can only do like 1 or 2 major things at a time. I can't do a whole lot. So if I'm going to like go to school, I have to just do that. I can't be singing and acting and doing all this other stuff. Right. But I didn't know this yet. I was just gardening. That's where I would that's where I would hear and talk to the Lord, is being out there in the soil, putting my hands in it. I don't use gloves. I need to, but I don't. I'd be like in it. Right. And so I started learning how to propagate. I started learning how to grow from seed. I started learning how to get my seeds to germinate even before putting them in the ground to get roots on them. Oh my gosh, I so love it. It's exciting to me. I keep growing some of the same things, some different things, only because like it's possible. And that's what I loved about it. And it's just so appropriate to life in general, of planting the seed, planting it in fertile soil, watching it grow and giving it it don't need a whole lot. Some plants be like, look, just leave me alone. Let me do what I do. And you got to learn the language of different plants. Those are the relationships that you're having with different plants, because they may be the same species. They may be the same plant, but they want something different sometimes. The one plant that's the same one, maybe I don't want to be in the sun. Avocados don't like being in the sun. Where I am, it doesn't like it. Every time I will put an avocado out there in the sun, because they say, oh, it loves sun. But then you learn about temperature. You see how I can go on? Okay. Look, I just love it.
In her product, though, because her products are all natural. So all of that kind of go full circle.
You're absolutely right.
So that's great. You're
Yeah.
actually learning basically each product, uh, every natural product that you're putting, every natural ingredient, should I
Yeah.
say, that you're putting in your product. So it just all goes hand in hand. I love it.
It really does. It really does. And I like it. Thank you.
Like, listen, and I
It
love,
really
hey,
does.
MJ, you know, I love the whole black farming thing for
I
one.
know. I
It's
know.
exciting. It's so exciting. And like so like you're saying that to be able to make my own skincare products,
Yeah,
my hair care, my facial care, and to be able to like bring that to people, to give them an alternative to like, this is like, I know what's in it. I make it with my hands. I use it myself. I'm not trying to like be like, yeah, I'm making some stuff, but I don't use it.
right.
I use my own stuff. And I love it. I like my products, and I
And just
like
learning the ingredients of the benefits of what each thing
right
does.
what each one does. That's right. And how to mix it at the level that you're going to get the results. One's not going to cancel out the other, or it's not enough, to just make it the right amount where you're going to get those results. And my
Yeah,
biggest result is to moisturize sensitive skin, dry skin, combination skin, to moisturize. And you can use as much or as little as you need to get down in those layers, because I like to feel my moisturizer. I like to know that I've used something, and I like to see those results. And that's how I make it. Yeah, I love it. I really do love my
your
own stuff.
skin is glowing. It is popping. That melanin is popping, girl.
Thank you.
Well, see, I have a disadvantage when talking to you, Rocky, because, like I said, it's certain things that I know, and then you're like, I know where you're going, but I don't know how you're gonna get there.
Right.
So,
I know what you're talking about. I love how you do the segue, though. I love it. Keeps me on my toes.
absolutely, absolutely. Let's go. Let's move into family. Let's
Family.
move into family. It is very important to you, and that started from way before age 12 and way before Star Search. Take us on that journey, because even to this day, like, I know you and mom don't stay too far away from each other. And I know your sister's here, but at the drop of a dime, she is definitely ride or die for Rocky, just like we all are. Family
Thank
is
you.
so important.
Family is important. I mean, my mom, it's really been she and I, through the whole, just through the career. And, after, then it was my ex-husband played a role in my career as well. And yeah, I just love family. Whether it's friends, it's my blood family. I love to just be around people that we share that common love with each other. And I love that. Yeah, it's important. I mean, just makes sense to me.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
important to
Right.
be family. Yeah.
When are we getting another CD or another song, another hit?
I don't know. My manager and Talisha and my friends around me are like, when are we going to hear something else? I don't know. I'm excited about what I'm doing now with, gardening isn't one of my businesses, but it's one of the things that gives me that relief to connect with God and talk about things. I haven't been able to do it as often because I have my podcast now, and then I have the Afro TV Americana, and my book and the skincare line. So, but I don't know. I
Okay.
guess soon. Let me just say soon. Stay tuned. It's coming,
Listen,
baby.
as she gardens and go to God, it's gonna all come in due time. And when it
Yeah.
comes, it's gonna be right.
Yeah. Thank
It's gonna
you.
blow up the charts, girl.
In the name of Jesus. Yes. I love it. I love singing. I love singing the Christian music. I love that place of worship. That's what I enjoy. Because when I really get there, it's like you don't hear or see anything I'm not listening to myself anymore to make sure I'm hitting this note right, I'm doing this right. It becomes this place of freedom that, like, it starts to make me tear up, because it's just such a lovely place to be, because it feels like you've transcended someplace else where, like, God is inspiring you and he's singing through you, and then it comes out into other people and they feel it. They're feeling that spirit, that love, and it just becomes reciprocal, and it just keeps going around like that. And I just love that feeling. I love that place. And when I get there, I don't want to leave it, because it's so comforting. It's so much love there. It's so much peace there. And I love being able to do that, and to be able to be that vessel to bring that to other people, where they can feel that peace. They're coming together to have that relationship, because it's no longer about me entertaining. It's no longer about me, pleasing other people or anyone. It's just really about that audience of one pleasing God and allowing him to use you as that vessel so he can speak to the hearts of others. And I enjoy that place. And that's what I love most about the Christian music, about the worship, because it's not about me. It's just specifically about him. And I'd be like, don't even look at me. You just hear it and just flow with the way the Spirit is contacting you and communicating with you. And that's what I love about it.
Well, the instrument that you have is definitely um, melodic, and is definitely powerful. So
Thank you.
thank you for being that vessel, being that connection,
Absolutely.
um, to bring
Thank
people closer to the Almighty, because it's nothing like being able to be in that atmosphere and have someone like you to bring you closer, um, for that experience.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
The
definitely.
MJ, and I'm glad that Rocky actually went there, because a lot of artists and actors and actresses, they lose that component. They get so caught up in the showbiz. We're getting feedback, right?
Yeah.
Well, are you?
I'm hearing it. I don't know. But they get so caught up in the showbiz and the lights and the cameras and the action and the entertainment, and they minimize or they forget about God. But just to watch someone like, such as yourself, who keep that foundation of belief in God, and it goes back to what M had asked, as far as your family, your family structure. And I think that also has a big part of it. Am I correct? To deal
Yeah.
with how your stand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't hear totally what you said, but
I don't know
you
how
said
the feedback.
family.
Right. I was
Say,
saying that having that strong family backing of giving you that foundation of your belief in Christ, it has
yeah,
kept you going, and how
yeah,
important that is, because a lot of times we lose that importance of just praying to God and putting God first in all that we do to
yeah.
minister to others.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah. Go
go
ahead.
ahead,
I'm sorry.
Rocky. No, no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm definitely a witness to it, because when she came down and did the book signing, you know, we were having this conversation, and a young lady walked up to her and just began to say, "Oh, you know what? I watched you from this point to this point, and oh, I always love you." And then I'm standing behind, and Rocky has no idea. She then turns around and starts to minister to the young lady and embrace her, and then I see tears falling down. I'm like, wait, what? I missed something. But it was just the opportunity to be able to witness. When you see people that really walk what they talk, it
Right.
makes a difference. And I can say that she is that woman. She is that godly woman. When she says, you know, for her to just stop what she was doing in the middle of a book signing and a book tour, here we are, and she takes the time out to minister to someone who says, "Hey, I looked up to you, and I'm going through hard times." She just totally the whole atmosphere changed, and it was just you had to be there. But
And
you, young
she's
lady, you
that
missed
type of
it.
person that the
Yeah,
industry needs.
yeah.
Yeah. You're that
Thank
type of person that the industry needs, someone that's solid, someone that will not waver, or lose their identity, to fit in. And that's what they look for. They look for that authenticity. They look for someone that's real. And I really commend you on that.
thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That feels good because sometimes it's like, dang Lord, because sometimes you're not accepted for
Right.
that authenticity. You're passed over because you're not doing the sell of whatever the sell is supposed to be. You're not willing to do certain things, and you're passed over for that. And I've been passed over a lot. It's a lot of rejection to stay true to yourself. But I mean, how am I supposed to rest? How am I supposed to sleep at night? How can I turn to the Lord and say, look, Lord, I mean, which we can say anything to him, which I do. Some people be like, you said that. I say everything to the Lord. I can't have nothing. But I don't want to feel like I can't look at myself in the mirror. My mom, like I said, my mom always said that you want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and feel good about what you've done and who you are. And that stuck with me through my whole life.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
anytime I tried to go the other way, never worked. Never worked for me. Just stick with what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
so with that being said, sticking with what you're supposed to do, you need to tell us where we can find all your music because it's out there. We need to know where to get the book. We need to know where to get the skincare line. We need to know where to see you on Afro TV. We need to know how to find you on the podcast. We need to know how to find you on social media. I need to know all of that.
Okay. Stay true to you. That's what I end up saying. Stay true to you. What first thing. Music. Oh my gosh. Well, first do we have time for me to tell you about that album and how it
Yeah.
came?
Yeah.
Well, I was getting ready to it came out of a very dark time, but it was so interesting what was pouring out of my heart, right? Because the Lord had been like, you got to get back to the music. And I was like, there's no way that's going to happen. And he's like, you're going to have to get back to the music. I'm not going to do it. You're going to have to get back to the music. I'm not going to do it. You're going to, no, please, no, don't. I can't do it, right? But when I could not not do it because it felt like it was just growing on the inside of me. And the bigger it got, the more uncomfortable I got. And I didn't really understand what people talked about, birthing a dream, birthing this, birthing that. But I learned what that meant because if I didn't just go head on and start doing music, it was going to come out somehow. But I know I wasn't going to be able to rest until I agreed with doing it. And I got on my knees and I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to do it. And in my book, I talk about this, and get the book because there's a lot to it. Anyway, I gotta promote my book. Give my book, Falling Up, The Unstoppable Journey of a Tear. There's a lot to it, but I did it, and oh my gosh, what poured out of my heart and how it came. I didn't really write before, but I was just writing, just like I would be writing so fast I couldn't even look at the paper because it was just so much coming at one time. I mean, melodies, the vocals, how it's supposed to be arranged. It was amazing, such an amazing experience. And I did it totally with the Lord. Whenever he said it's time to get up and write, whenever he said record that vocal, I did it. And it was probably the most obedient time of my life. And it was coming out such a terrible time as well. And it was just amazing to me, just what I had on the inside of my heart for the Lord. And I wrote all that stuff. I wrote my truth. I wrote what I was going through. I wrote it all in song, and it all just came full circle back to God. So yeah, my album's called Always Count on You. I love those songs. And I do work that I know I'm going to like and that I can look at later and say, I'm really proud of that. And I just love to share that with other people and hope that they'll love it too, And that's what I did with Always Count on You. Only thing I that's in my book too. Oh, you're gonna read that? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you about it, but yeah. And it was a title change, and it was why I changed the title. And I said, I should have left it the way it was, because it was called Loud for Christ. And that's another thing, trying to fit in. And once again, no, don't try to fit in. Do it the way you're supposed to do it. Be you. Be who you are, and don't let anyone turn you from that. Because you're in this industry. If you are, and you want to be pleasing, because you want to be successful. You want to be successful at the level that the world sees success. Unfortunately, that's what we get in our head, and God doesn't care about none of that. What the world has to say about it, cares what He has to say about how He sees success and how He sees it for you. Right. And that was that part of that moment when I was being pleasing, and I was like, never should have changed it from being Loud for Christ, because that's who I am. And I called it Always Count on You because, well, they were like, well, it's a song on there called that, whatever. But anyway, it's a great album. I love it. I play it. I listen to it. My friends play it. They listen to it. And I enjoy it. So you can get that on all the platforms. I have also song Put Your Hands in the Air that I wrote from a guy who wanted me to write a song for him. He was in Sweden, a DJ in Sweden, and he found me online, and he was like, well, can you sing this song? And I was like, I liked it so much. I was like, I am not going to do this project at all. It didn't matter how much he was paying me for it. I was like, I'm not going to do it unless I can have the song. And you don't even have to pay me for it at that point, right? And so thank God he agreed. I love that song because I wanted a song that I can praise and dance to and just go all out crazy, being loud for Christ. Just like, right? Like in the stadiums, when they're yelling for the sports players and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm going to do that for Christ, because that's what being loud for Christ is. And be louder for Him than for anybody else on this planet, right? And that's why I wanted that song. I was like, yeah! So... That's my inside yell. And so I did that, and that's on all the platforms of Google, Amazon, Apple, all over. All of my songs are everywhere. My book is on Amazon, soon to be in the other retail locations like Barnes and Nobles and places as such. And you asked me, Planet Rock podcast on envision-radio.com every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And I do a video replay that's on my YouTube, and it stays there. And you can check it out of the shows that are video recorded. And then I have, you said something, envyluxuryexclusive.com. with my skincare products, and I have some new products that I have not been able to actually promote yet, but I have some new products that I have created. Oh my gosh, I love them. Okay. I have this jasmine body butter that's amazing. I have Coco Nella, amazing. I have
what's that? Wait, what's that?
Vanilla and cocoa butter.
Okay, got you.
I love it. And then I have this one that has the lemongrass, more citrus lemongrass scent. I love all my products, okay? So I don't be talking about my stuff and don't be using it. I love my stuff. Okay? So I have new stuff like face mask and a facial cleanser that, y'all know I love my stuff. I love it, right? So... I got that, and you can catch it on Etsy too. Etsy, Envy Luxury Exclusive, the store. What's it? Etsy.com /store/Envy Luxury Exclusive. And you can get even my Planet Rock gear from there. I created my own, interesting. I do my own graphics and stuff like that. And I did my own graphics and stuff for Planet Rock. And so you have the t-shirt and all that there as well. And what else do I have? Did I call everything? My book?
Afro TV.
Afro TV.
Afro TV Americana. That's happening right now every day at 7:30 p.m. on Comcast 1623 Afro TV. You can catch it there.com as well. And we do some lives and you can catch all the stuff on Instagram. So that brings up Instagram, my_ROQUE. My TikTok is my_ROQUE1, not no T, ROQUE1. Let me say it again. my_ROQUE1. That's the same thing for my Facebook, my_ROQUE. And I have official Raquel Herring on Facebook. Planet Rock is on Facebook. Envy Luxury Exclusive is on Facebook. And I do a thing every month in where I live, Literary Lounge. And that's to bring authors to the community so the community can know about the authors, know about their stories, know about the process, know that creative side, and really get to know the authors in the community. I mean, it's an important thing. We say support small businesses, support your local talent. That's a big thing as well. Let's do that, And then, I'm on the social media platforms, but you can catch me on RaquelHerring.com, and that's where you can find me everywhere.
All right, sounds good. Des?
Yeah, so Rocky, listen, thank you so very much. I knew this was going to be a very entertaining, delightful, fun interview, but yet it had a lot of substance. So I thank you so very much. And like I said earlier, I appreciate your authenticity. I appreciate you not losing your identity of who you are, especially in this industry, because someone like you is very much needed. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And my sister, you already know how I feel about you.
I know.
Thank you for continuously letting your light shine. And
thank you so much.
Only higher and higher from here.
You all too, man. You guys are doing it. I love it. MJ is just like killing it in the DJ world, all over the place. Desi's killing it. Y'all like everywhere. I see y'all just busy winning awards, all that. So congratulations to you all. Many, many more accolades. Praise the Lord. We definitely need to have people like you all as well that's staying out there, being authentic, being genuine, and can minister the word to people because the world needs it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to hug Mom for us.
I will.
All of y'all that are watching, it's Conversations with Them Too. I'm MJ, and that is
Lady Des.
And we are a part of the Shenanigan crew, and we had our special guest tonight, the lovely Raquel Roque Herring. Listen, make sure you Google her. You can definitely do that. Google her. Books, music, skincare, t-shirts. I gotta give me one of those t-shirts.
Yeah, and tune in to Afro TV.
Yeah, tune in to Afro TV and check out Planet Rock. That's Planet ROQ, the podcast. Check it out and partake, As always, thank you again, Rocky. Much love to you.
Wait, MJ. Let me say this real quick. Rocky, MJ has to love you. MJ, what I'm getting ready to say.
Rocky, you know I love you because it's past my bedtime.
What's your bedtime? 9 o'clock.
Be like 8:30.
I'm waiting for you to give me the clue or the cue. Like, okay, that's it.
Thank you, MJ. I love you. I love you, Desi. I love you guys.
It's
most definitely. And Rocky, with what's happening in Florida, make sure you stay safe. And if you need us, man, don't you hesitate to call us.
Thank you.
For real.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm up in it.
I know.
In it.
Yeah, I know you're right there.
How's the weather out there?
It's quiet right now. Very quiet. I mean, we've had rain, but it's quiet, real chill, nice rain weather that you can get some nice rest,
Right.
But it's always the quiet before the storm.
Don't you know?
We're going to be praying. We're going to definitely be praying.
For sure. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you for having me on, bringing me when I'm there in Miami. Thank you for just being supportive and really sharing me on your platform. I totally appreciate that. And I thank you so much. I'm grateful for you. Thank you.
Family isn't always blood, and we family.
Absolutely. Amen. We had the whole daycare there.
Yeah, the last time.
We did. It was so much fun.
I know the Mouseketeer was coming.
It was so much fun.
My guests brought their kids, Ty with the kids. It was just kids.
Right.
It was just a whole studio full of kids.
That's right. It was.
It was awesome. And I like
Wonderful.
it.
And I like it. Okay.
All right, family. We try to do this each and every Monday night at about 8:30. We got a little late start, but hey, listen, that's because my sister was working, and who are we to stop the flow? Got to keep it going. So we do this each and every Monday night. It's conversations with them too, Lady Des and yours truly. We are a part of the Shenanigan crew. And until next time, love and peace.
Bye-bye.